overcounted. And we have UFO whistleblowers coming out. It is the morning, folks. We are back with another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is good to see you. And I'll tell you what, a lot of crazy, wild, and wacky news is taking place today. And I'm glad you chose my show to be here to get all of it. We're different than other morning shows. We bring you the wackiness, we bring you the silliness, and we bring you the entertainment. So appreciate all of you joining me. You need this type of show in the morning, you know? You need to wake up. And I'm the one to be that morning coffee. You're not the one drinking. And if you are, make sure you go grab a Bald Brad mug at baldbrad.com and have a little sippy whippy with me. You know, throw a little wowzer sauce in there, as some might call it, you know, to light your candle this morning. But it's good to see all of you. Alrighty. Well, jumping into the news. I mean, yesterday it was just like thing after thing after thing after thing for me as somebody that loves this stuff. Well, not that I love this first story, but Israel was coming in hot and taking out a bunch of terrorists, which I always appreciate. Israel conducted a precision strike against senior Hamas leaders in Qatar on Tuesday. Yes, it is pronounced Qatar. A lot of people say Qatar. Both are acceptable. Just a day after the terror group rejected a new ceasefire proposal from President Trump. Look, you gave them an opportunity. And how many opportunities you got to give somebody before you blow them up? By the way, happy belated birthday, Jeff. That was one thing I forgot yesterday. I fell short on that one, my friend. I saw everybody writing you the other day, happy birthday in the chat, and I missed it. So if anybody doesn't know who Jeff is a longtime supporter, but also a moderator here on the show. So appreciate you, man. Sorry, I apologize. I'm going to send you a personal message, by the way, saying happy birthday. That is not right of me. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Jeff. Well, we rejected a ceasefire proposal from President Trump. Not we, they. Well, you know, if I've always said that what's the negotiation here? What's the peace deal? The deal is you get to live. That sounds like a pretty good deal, in my opinion. I don't know why we make this so silly and so far off in terms of something we can't grasp. Why do we act dumb all the time? That part I don't understand. Why do we act stupid all the time? And what I mean by that is we like to pretend that things are overly complicated. How does this happen? How did we get here? It's so irreprehensible. Like, I think it's pretty understandable that these are terrorists that have hostages that do terrible things to little girls and people's families. Yeah, that's a pretty good, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good deal by saying, hey man, you give up those hostages, guess what? You get to live. You go see your family. You get to live. The strike targeted top Hamas officials who have been living and operating out of Qatar, which has served as a protected refuge for the terror group's leadership. It appears to be the first time Israel has struck Hamas officials inside the country. Qatar condemned the attack as a blatant violation of international laws and norms. Hey, well, why don't you stop harboring terrorists? How about that for a violation of international law? Not allowing terrorists to just run roughshod in your country, roam and rampant. And let's not do that. The White House said that the U.S. was notified of the attack ahead of time and in turn informed Qatar. President Trump believes this unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. Maybe. Caroline Leavitt did talk about it during the White House press briefing slightly. People are, how could Israel do this? How could Israel do that? Do they not get that Russia's still inside Ukraine right now? And by the way, I'm not saying that China is doing necessarily anything wrong, but how about all their types of trainings and war preparation outside over there in Taiwan? Like that's pretty wrong as well. Hey, how about all these other countries still performing slavery over there in the Middle East? There's millions of slaves, by the way, that are still happening today. It's always odd. Again, why do we act stupid? It's amazing. For some reason, people love to hyper-focus on Israel and just rip them a new one. I've never understood it. I'm not saying that they're not doing anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I just think in terms of proportionality, it's a little odd to me that you're hyper-focused on Israel, but you're not hyper-focused on the actual terrorists. That's the ones you should probably be talking about. A little odd, a little weird. Alrighty, the other big thing that happened yesterday, and boy, oh boy, wowzers, was the job numbers. Dude. And the psycho left because their brain is mush. It's like when, there's this old joke by Bill Burr. When the wife comes home and when you come home and the wife's there and she cooked dinner, she burned the casserole. You know what I mean? You take her head, you just ram it through the drawer. It's a bit that he does, and it's hilarious, by the way. I don't know what happened here, but somebody's head was getting rammed through the drawer multiple times. Like, holy hell! Like, I don't know how this happens. I don't know how you're this far off, but this happened under Joe Biden's administration. And what's happening right now, and this is where your head's getting drawn into the drawer, the Democrats are coming out on TikTok, social media, Facebook, Instagram, the whole bit, and blaming Trump. They're blaming Trump for something that happened under Joey. No, I have the receipts. Hold on. Settle down. Here we go. The Bureau of Labor Statistics on Tuesday announced that it had overcounted U.S. jobs by nearly 1 million last year. Yo. I was listening to this on the radio because I was working all day yesterday. So I was going from work. I came back home and I went back to work till like 9 o'clock last night. The largest downward revision in American history. Joey's breaking new records again. And he's not even in office. Oh. I'll tell you what, this one caught me, folks. Patriots, this one got me off guard because I was like, Joey's gone. He's done breaking records. The guy has more medals than Michael Phelps. I mean, let that sink in. Joe Biden has broken more records than any American Olympian. And now he's out of office and the guy's still breaking records. I mean, there's a record-breaking aura around Joe. I mean, the amount of plaques this guy's going to hold for the Guinness World Record in his library, if he ever gets one, is going to be remarkable. An entire hallway just full of records. I mean, granted, a lot of them are going to be for illegal immigration, but there are a lot nonetheless. Now he's out of office. He's on the beaches of Delaware, and a guy from the Guinness Book World Records shows up with a plaque and says, "Hey, Mr. Biden, you have another plaque here for the most job revisions in American history. Well done, sir." What was that? Kamala, President Kamala. Jesus. All right. Well, it's an annual revision again. The Bureau of Labor Statistics announced that on March 2024 to March 2025, so there is some overlap with Trump of what, like 8 weeks, maybe even less than that. The economy added about 1 million jobs, 900,000, 910,000 fewer jobs than was initially reported. Oh boy. The more than 50% downward revision means the economy was adding only 70,000 jobs per month during that period, not 147,000. How many revisions did we cover here under the Biden administration? I don't know. At some point, you guys, you just stop counting. You know what I mean? You legitimately just give up and go, here it is again. Here's another one. The massive revision reinforces the president's push to overhaul the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You think? Yeah. No. Remember when he was getting a bunch of grief from the media and the Democrat Party for going after the lady at the Bureau of Labor Statistics? Because, I don't know, maybe your estimation, you're not even close. I'm not expecting estimates to be right. Okay? They're estimates. There's going to be times where you're right, you're close, you're wrong. Welcome to the world of math and statistics. But a million? A little far. Well, much like the CDC, everything is wrong with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, said Senator Roger Marshall, who is in charge of confirming Trump's nominee to lead the agency. We need someone to come in there and turn that place upside down. It seems like that needs to be a lot of things over there in government on Capitol Hill and just in Washington, D.C. in general. Can we be fair? Everything needs to be flipped upside down across America in terms of government because everything is ass backwards or upside down. So if you flip it the other direction, maybe a 180, we'll be back where we were when we all remember what America was like when we were kids. I'm not saying it was the greatest thing. I mean, it's the greatest country on earth. We always got improvements. But I'm telling you, and I've said this analogy before, somebody stepped on the butterfly. I don't know when everything went crazy. I don't know when everything went ass backwards. I like to say during Barack Obama's time, that's when things started to shift, to get a little wonky, a little weird. But I mean, you can go back maybe to Reagan's time, getting rid of those mental institutions. Let me tell you, I think that had a big thing to do with a lot of this stuff. When you start allowing people to roam around, it looks like freaking the end of the world, like zombie apocalypse with all these people pushing empty wheelchairs and, wearing naked stuff, not meaning not having any clothes. I don't know why I said wearing Nike stuff, but we have fun here. Stop reading too into it. Oh God, I love reading your guys' chat. You know, I've always said if you're new here, you gotta let us know. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. I host this thing, obviously. I know everybody in the chat. I legitimately almost know everybody, and they know that. They'll know if I'm BSing. I know them. Alrighty. By the way, I have not heard from Shib. Hopefully Shib's doing okay. If you're not aware, Shib is a longtime listener and viewer of the Bald Brad Show, multi-year listener. He's a patriot, but he lives in the UK. And well, I don't know if the guy's locked up because you get locked up for saying anything in the UK. So I'm hoping that he's doing okay. So if anybody's heard from Shib, give him a shout out. Some of you follow him on X. All right. Well, whistleblowers. This one, ooh boy, this is more so for spooky adventures. Okay, my second channel. But I can't contain myself. Now, I've always said this before I read the title. I like conspiracy theories, but I don't necessarily believe in them. Does that make sense? Like I'm a boy, like I'm a man. Like I've always loved adventure. Indiana Jones is one of my favorite series. I love treasure hunting, meaning yes, I watched The Curse of Oak Island. I'm still in it. Anytime they find a piece of wood, I'm on the edge of my seat, okay? Now, if anybody knows The Curse of Oak Island, they always find wood, okay? That's a cliche, it's a joke, but it wouldn't mean anything to you if you don't watch that show. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for a while. Whistleblowers testify to Congress about UFO cover-up, and there was a clip. There was a clip of a freaking UFO. One moment. Military whistleblowers testified before a congressional task force on Tuesday about their firsthand encounters with UFOs. As you can tell, I got a little excited right there. My voice kind of cracked. I'm at the edge of my seat. Yeah, you heard it. Don't judge me, but you heard it. As lawmakers from both parties demanded an end to what they say is a decades-long cover-up by the government. In the third congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs is what they're calling it now. Since 2023, two veterans described their own sightings. One recounted seeing a tic-tac-shaped object emerge from the ocean, while another described a 100-foot-long triangular craft that flew within feet of him and interfered with his telephone before rapidly ascending with no sound or kinetic disturbance. I think he said something. I saw a small clip, like a 10, 15-second clip of him saying like his cell phone got really hot and burned up, or I don't want to say melted. That's not what I'm going to say, but stopped working, stuff like that. In the hearing, the most shocking moment, a congressman, we're going to watch it together, shared a never-before-seen video of a Hellfire missile striking a UAP with seemingly no effect. Folks, this is crazy. Let me show you this. So they're going to be tracking this UFO, and they shoot a Hellfire missile at it. It hits it. The Hellfire missile hits it. And the thing keeps going. And the Hellfire missile bounces off of it and goes the other direction. If you know a Hellfire missile, this thing will rip you a new one. All right? So I don't know if there's audio on this. Let me put my headphones on. I don't know if there's going to be people talking or what, but here we go. So what you have here on your screen, this is the UFO. And this thing is hauling ass. All right? So it's zooming, it's flying, baby, and I believe it's over the ocean. A lot of people saying these things are coming out of the ocean. And it looks like it's heading north. And it's like a Tic Tac, right? Everybody's had Tic Tac. Some of you might need one now because your breath is stink. Watch here, boom! And it nails it. But look, it keeps going, and what's going to happen, it's going to zoom out. And it keeps flying. Look, it keeps going! It keeps flying!
This is when it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
So, Mr. Knapp.
Look at this. And what I find fascinating is when it hits it, right? Look at that. It comes in hot, you know what I mean? Came in like a wrecking ball. Da, 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 Now, what's weird, look, you can't say that it didn't hit it, right? I mean, whoever shot that, well done, sir. But it goes right through it, banks off, right? But look what happens to the pieces. You see, now people are saying in the comments, like, oh, is this like pieces of the craft? I think it's pieces of the Hellfire missile. Now watch what those 3 little pieces do. Bro, they stay with the craft. Look, they start moving with it. Look at, what? It's like they're stuck to it. Like there's some sort of magnetic field or something. Please, I don't know what this is, but it's weird. And it just stays with it. And look how fast this thing is moving. All right, let's go to the chat. Patriots, come on, powwow time. Get in. Come on. Get in here. What do we got? What do we got? Is this E.T.? Some Steven Spielberg stuff? Or is it just our tech? Anna Paulina Luna. Rocket.
Need to replay that.
All right, we're gonna play her clip here. Here we go. This is a little bit longer, but I'm gonna read the chat. I want to know: is it a UFO or is it an alien? Here we go.
I'd like to ask the committee to replay that video that Burleson had played earlier. I want to ask every witness here, specifically ones that have sensor training or have been able to recognize some of this movements real quick. So if you guys can please roll that real quick.
Roll it again. They got to do some audio on this. You know what I mean? Like give some play-by-play of what's happening here. It is odd. People are using beats the hell out of me. Chris says I want one. You can't have one, Chris. It's mine. He says AI. It's not AI. No, this is you can't see it. This is military. This is from the United States military. You can actually see. Oh, my big head's in the way.
Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr. Nusatelli, real quick, yes or no answers. Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
One moment.
Thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins? Going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Isn't that the chief of the police department in The Simpsons? Chief Wiggins? Is that his name? What the hell are you doing there? I wonder what happened to that guy. Oh, sorry, that's a callback. That's for us older folks. We grew up with The Simpsons, right? It was always right after the news on Fox 11 late at night for like a decade or so plus. Chief Wiggins.
Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
That's the one that I thought was weird. So I saw this clip, and I don't know why you would need a skiff for that if we didn't have that technology ourselves. That part I find weird. Or it still could be a UFO, but we also have that technology. That's a very weird thing to say. I prefer to talk about that in a skiff. With that, like, why? It's yes or no.
Okay. Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks for providing
Curiosity
that.
killed the cat. All right, Mr. Moreland?
Yes for...
Okay. All right. That is the end of my questioning. I'd like to now recognize...
That was going viral. I mean, everybody's talking about that clip right now on social media. I mean, that was going... I couldn't stop seeing it, basically. There was so much stuff there. So a lot of news being covered, from Israel to the jobs numbers to the UFO stuff that's happening to, I don't know. People were trying to start World War III online by saying that Russia attacked Poland. We got that right here for all of you. You might say, well, hold on a second, Brad. I'm making my cup of coffee in the kitchen. I have you in the living room. Did you just say Russia attacked Poland? Let me explain, because a lot of people like to say a bunch of crazy stuff. I told you, if you're new here, this is a different show, man. I bring you the energy. It might not be for you, and that's okay. We're a special breed here. We're a special group of people. And But we're a tight-knit group of people. Let me tell you, the same people show up every morning, and they're here. And we have the best community. And I'm going to keep saying it time and time and time and time again. All righty. Well, Poland downs a huge number of Russian drones violating its sovereign airspace. Somebody was doing a no-no. Polish officials said Wednesday its forces had shot down a huge number of Russian drones overnight that violated the country's airspace during an attack on Ukraine. So they were not going after, from my understanding, Poland. They were going after Ukraine, and they went inside Poland's airspace. Poland didn't like that, so they shot them down. Polish fighter jets, backed by NATO aircraft from Italy, the Netherlands. Who would have thought the Netherlands had aircraft? Can you believe that? Good for them. And Germany intercepted. I'm such a smart ass. I'm sorry. Intercepted and destroyed the drones. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said, he added that allies stood in solidarity with Poland and denounced Russia's reckless behavior. Yeah, I mean, it is okay. It's a little reckless, but I just think it's funny that we stood in solidarity. Stop it. Come on. It sounds like a Democrat wrote that. You know what I mean? Whenever they're standing on the House floor because some trans guy lopped off his genitals and now he's parading around and telling you that you need to make believe with him and pretend that reality is something it's not. You know, we stand in solidarity for the guy that lopped off his pee-pee and he's now going after your children and he's doing this. It's like, come on, stop it. Stop it. Let's you blew up some Costco drones. Okay. Now, when we think of drones, we think of like what we got, like the aircraft, you know what I mean? That we saw way back in like, I don't know, early 2000s where we're flying drones around with a propeller in the back and we're like, holy crap, that's crazy. An unmanned aircraft. Now it's normal. Like, give me a break. We can go buy this stuff, like I said, at Costco. You can go to Target and get one. It ain't that impressive. Well, last night, the Polish airspace was violated by a huge number of Russian drones. Those drones that posed a direct threat were shot down. I am in constant communication with the Secretary General of NATO and our allies. He said 19 drones had been in Polish airspace, later telling Parliament that Russia had gone too far. I have no reason to claim we were on the brink of war. Well, that's not what people are saying online, man. And people are spinning this thing like crazy. I'll be serious. I'm serious. It's a heart attack, man. There were people posting stuff when I initially saw it of Russia attacked Poland. And I like, mind you, I'm at work yesterday when seeing this. And I try whenever I have like a little bit of free time, I'll try to swipe to see what's going on in the news. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, really? Because I'm thinking this ain't good. Because now if you're attacking Poland, oh, here we go. Like now bleep's going to hit the fan. Now things are going to spiral out of control as if we don't have enough to worry about. And then, going more into it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not saying it's not a nothing burger, but there's something here, but it's not as bad as people are making it seem. The situation brings us the closest we've been to the open conflict since World War II. I don't know about that one. Yeah, they flew in your airspace. And the question is, how far did they fly in your airspace? And they weren't attacking you. I'm not saying they should have done it. Please understand that. But I think doesn't it kind of feel like we're inching towards, though, war with Russia? Like, not that we want that, because obviously Trump says he doesn't want that, but it almost seems like Vladimir Zelensky is trying to get NATO to get one. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. He is trying to get NATO involved, but it almost seems like NATO is starting to kind of like almost bend the knee to it. I could be reading too far into this, so please take that with a grain of salt, but that's what it seems like. The Kremlin refused to comment on the situation. This is not for us to do so, said, what the hell? This is not for us to do so. The hell is that? What does that mean? That comes from, why is everybody in Russia named Dmitry? It's like when you go to the Middle East, everybody's name's Mohammed. Do we have a common name here in the United States? It might be Mohammed soon, knowing our immigration. Might be Mohammed soon. It's a matter of, for Russian Defense Ministry. Russian Defense Ministry said it did not target Poland. And it seems like it's true. The Russian aligned commander of Belarus Armed Forces claimed that the drones lost their course as a result of electronic warfare. I'm not going to believe much what the Russians say, to be honest. To be fair, I don't believe much of what any government says, including my own. So I kind of just try to do the news and figure out, okay, what's right, what's wrong. I mean, that's what everybody should do. So we got that there for you, just so you might hear that, the sprinklings of it, and you go, come on, they didn't attack Poland. Stop it. Let's not be silly. It's ridiculous. All righty. Where was the other one I wanted to cover? Okay, so a few of you wanted me to cover this story again. There was people reaching out. The full video of this young woman that was deleted by this scumbag, the full video's out, and I'm not going to play that on my show. You could source that out yourself. All I will say is she was attacked, and I could tell that I don't even think she knew she was stabbed. Like, I don't think she acted, because if anybody's ever been punched before, or let's just say, if you've ever been seriously wounded, it takes a moment. Like, when you seriously cut yourself, even with a knife, right? We've all kind of cut ourselves chopping up veggies or whatever in the kitchen. It kind of takes a moment for you to realize, like, oh man, like, I really cut myself. And then as you're watching, you're going, oh yeah, that's bad. And then the pain kind of comes in later. I could tell that she did not realize what was going on. And then she kind of just passes out. You don't see really much blood other than later in the video. I couldn't tell where it got her in the neck area in the video, because there was nothing like it's not like the movies, right? Sometimes it is, but it wasn't like spraying out. It wasn't like, you couldn't see, because I think her shirt was, her shirt's black, but she kind of just falls over, then she falls on the floor and she just bleeds out. Which is god awful, just god awful. People do help her, but everybody else was kind of confused at what happened, because when you look at the video, it looked like when this person stood up, it looked like he just smacked the crap out of her, like he punched her and then walked away. So everybody's kind of getting on these people like, why did they do anything to help her, blah, blah, blah. Folks, these trains, there's always some psycho doing something on these trains. I stopped taking the metro up to Los Angeles Kings games. I would park nearby in a rideshare area, and I would take the metro from Orange County area. Well, I guess it's Los Angeles County, but and go up to literally the Staples Center where it drops you off. I had to stop going there with my dad because multiple times I saw guys threatening each other to kill each other. I mean, the last stint was we were there, and it's something out of a movie. A guy said that he was going to pull a gun on another guy, like a Mexican. And then there was a black guy that stood up and said he was going to knife the guy. So one guy allegedly had a gun on him. This is right in front of us, by the way. The other guy took out a knife. And then, I kid you not, a Catholic priest, a black Catholic priest, stood up and said, Lord, don't have mercy. Lord, be, and started like negotiating with the two. And I'm like, holy hell, this is crazy. That was the last time. And I told my dad, I don't want to do that because it's not safe. And I think he agreed at that point. So this stuff's always happening. Now, in this article here, the GOP reps moved to oust judge who freed 14-time offender before this brutal schmurder. Now, there was an article that was posted that says some of these judges never went to law school. I'm going to source that out, but that's what I'm hearing, is that these judges don't even have a law degree. They never went to law school. And they're the ones that are determining whether these people that are out of their minds get to go out to the public and live a free life and then perform, stuff like this. I'll see if I could source that article really quickly when I'm done through this one. But Moore shared a letter signed by 9 of his colleagues in which he called on Chief Judge Roy Wiggins to begin formal removal proceedings against Stokes, saying that her decision to release Johnson, based solely on his written promise to return for the next court date, had been at best reckless. Gee, where have we heard that before? Like, not once, not 10 times, not even 100 times. Like 10,000 times, 100,000 times. Gee, I don't know. All the illegal immigrants that come in this country say the same thing. Don't worry, I'll go to my court date. And they don't show up. Despite his history of violent and unstable behavior, Stokes released Brown without requiring bond or imposing any meaningful conditions to safeguard the public. Oh, well, if you do that, well, now you're racist, right? Oh, look at that. He's just another number contributing to all the crime that's being done. We can't do that. Well, now a young lady lost her life because you didn't want to do your damn job because of racism or discrimination. We just need to give the guy another opportunity. I don't know. I think the other 14 opportunities was that. Matter of fact, I think the first one was the warning. The first one was the opportunity. Then there was the second. Then there was the third and the fourth. Yeah, I'm a little pissed and heated about it because it's BS, man. And everybody knows it in the chat. Everybody knows it, that this is a constant behavior from the Democrat Party and progressive left of no personal responsibility, and that everybody just needs a second, third, fourth, 15th chance. And this is now when people are getting deleted left and right. Lock people up, build more prisons. I'm a fiscal conservative, registered Republican. I don't mind my tax dollars going towards building more prisons. I would rather build billion-dollar prisons than spend $128 billion on a bullshit high-speed rail when no rail has been built since 2008. Gavin Newsom, don't tell me our prisons are so impacted. We just don't have anywhere to put them. Bro, it's a prison. Build some cinder blocks and build a wall like my closet here. And that's all you need. And you put a fucking door in it. Why do we act stupid? Why do we act stupid? It's a prison. It doesn't need to be a 5-star hotel. They shouldn't be expensive to build. Put some cinder blocks in there, bada bing, bada boom, fill it up with some cement and go on your merry way and you're good. I don't think this guy should be exactly getting a 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel and, get his own room and all this other stuff and air conditioning, nice meals. I'm not saying prison is great. But if you're going to spend $15 billion and not build any rail, and then you're going to tell me, yeah, I don't have the money, can't do it. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't freaking think so. While you're giving health care for free to illegal immigrants to the tune of $12 billion, well, gee, Gavin, if you stop doing that and you stop doing the high-speed rail, when you add them together, guess what you get? A lot of freaking money for a lot of freaking prisons to get these psychos off the streets so that we can actually live normal lives ourselves. And we could, enjoy life a little bit without having the fear of being stabbed by a psycho that had 14 priors. Ridiculous. Yeah, I'm a little amped up over it. It's frustrating. Judges have no law degree. Let me see if I can find this for all of you. It's crazy, man. So here's Charlie Kirk. Right now, millions of people are finding out you can become a magistrate judge in many states without being a licensed lawyer. Teresa Stokes, who that name should sound familiar to you, never passed the bar exam, fully empowered to let repeat criminal offenders roam the streets to murder innocents. That's crazy, man. So here's, this is the older millennial. We follow each other on TikTok, shout out. But here's him talking about this whole thing.
At least this guy didn't even go to law school. Yeah, not even a lawyer. Yeah, these magistrate judges that are making a decision to release these people without bail, yeah, they're not even lawyers. They didn't go to law school. They didn't pass the bar. They just got appointed to be judges. No training required. Oh yeah, and that's the case in states like North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, Texas, Arizona. They don't even have to be lawyers, but they can be judges. They don't have to go to law school. They don't have to pass the bar. However, they sit in judgment over people who did. How the fuck is this a thing? How the fuck do we have judges who didn't even study the law? How did this ever become a thing? That's one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Like, to be somebody's lawyer, you have to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. Like, just to represent a client, you have to do that. To be able to prosecute that person, you got to go to law school, you got to pass the bar. But to be the judge, to be the person overseeing these lawyers, to be the ultimate arbiter of the law, you don't have to go to law school, you don't have to pass the bar. How is this a fucking thing?
Sounds a lot like what I say here on the show, does it not? I told you, everything is asked backwards. I literally have no issue with what he said. His name's Joe. I have no issue with what Joe said, by the way. None whatsoever. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys knew that. Let me know if you knew that in the chat, that these psychos now are letting other psychos roam the streets. God, dude. I mean, really, there's a reason why. Matter of fact, we'll plug it. Oh yeah, I got copies down here. There's a this one's. Why is it all dusty? Let me get a clean one. There's a reason why I wrote this book. Trojan Horse: How the Left is Destroying America. You are seeing it when you are a judge that doesn't have a law degree doing judgments upon people as the arbiters of truth that are supposed to, I don't know, bring down the law on you, and you don't know the law. That's a little bit of a problem. This book is why I wrote it. This came out in 2023. This March will be 2 years, which, by the way, doesn't seem that far away. This is still timely, man. Let me tell you. Oh boy, is it still timely. Pick up a copy on Amazon, Barnes & Noble today. Let me tell you, it is a good book. I wrote it because it's a book that I think a lot of people need to read, and it's a book that I would want to read. I wouldn't spend all that time writing a book that I don't like. So check that out for yourselves. If you're like, well, Brad, how do I get that? Well, let me tell you right now. You just go to baldbrad.com. I made the site myself. You can go to our book up at the top again. That's baldbrad.com, because I'm bald. You go to the book and you just click this link right here, and it's going to take you bada bing, bada boom right there. By the way, let's see how we are doing here. This is actually 5 stars. There was a dude that wrote 1 star that called me a Nazi. I tried to get it removed. Look at this. Let's see. Oh, it won't work. It won't work. So, all right. Well, it doesn't work. But they called me. They said the book is a Nazi and all those other things. So I reached out to YouTube, right? The guy never bought the book, never read it, and called me a Nazi. Or I contacted Amazon. They won't remove it. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine to call somebody a Nazi without any evidence. Yeah. So that 1 star, some just lefty that commented on it. So it's 5 stars. Thank you. But get yourself a copy. Appreciate it. All righty. What else do we got here? Let's see how much time we have. Okay. Hopefully you're all doing well. Let's see if we got any breaking news coming up here really quickly. We do have breaking news. This is, like I said, breaking. Donald Trump calls for death penalty for suspect in Charlotte light rail stabbing. Which is interesting because this kind of goes against a lot of like pro-life and religious people. I'm personally pro-death penalty. I think that you had an opportunity to be able to live out your fullest life, and that you gave up that opportunity by deleting somebody else. You should be deleted as well. And this whole like, oh, we got to make it humane. I think, look, if we put down animals with a syringe, right? Pete is always like, oh, and by the way, I'm a huge animal advocate. I love animals, but we put them down with ease. These people are animals. They didn't put down the person with ease. Why should they also get put down with ease? And I'm just saying, 10-cent bullet. I really do believe that 10-cent bullet ain't much. It ain't much. Right there in the dome. I know it sounds ruthless. It sounds bad. You ain't gonna feel nothing. That's probably the most humane way you can go out, honestly, is a bullet right to the brain. And if you're like, well, it might not do it, Brad. Okay, well, there could be other people there. And, big thing was those shooting squads. Allegedly, there's been studies out that some of those officers kind of got messed up in the head because, like, well, I deleted a guy and, I don't know if it was really my bullet or not. That's okay. There's automation. Yeah, we have got robots now. You could just have a bunch of stuff lined up and have a computer do it. You know what I mean? You set it and you just walk away. Kind of like those old rotisserie chickens. Y'all remember that infomercial? You set it and forget it. Y'all remember that one? Oh, my parents got one of those rotisseries. Those things were famous, man. The rotisserie chickens. You set it and forget it. The animal who was violently killed. See, animal, they're even calling him an animal. You put down animals, with a syringe, you go to sleep. Killed the beautiful young lady from Ukraine who came to America searching for peace and safety should be given a quick. Hold on. I didn't know Trump was the one saying this. Now my voice is going out. I should not be doing a Trump impression. I legitimately talked from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. almost straight yesterday. Literally to the point where it's actually sore right here. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm not sick, but it's from talking. But we're going to do it because you guys deserve the best. The animal who violently killed the beautiful young lady from Ukraine, who came to America searching for peace and safety, should be given a quick, there's no doubt, trial and only awarded the death penalty. Trump said on Truth Social. There can be no other option. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, that part wasn't in there, that last one, the attention to the matter, but he's known to do that. I agree with the guy. Look, the guy can't survive in society. There's nothing telling me based on his priors and what he's done that he is capable of even behaving himself in prison. You can't behave yourself. So you know what? There's another place for you. It's just 6 feet into the ground. So we'll get to this here.
Good to be with you for another hour. Caroline Leavitt went on to say that cashless bail is a, quote, failed experiment. And then we all heard it. She took the media to task, essentially saying they refused to cover the story because it didn't fit their, quote, preferred narrative, and said the media had a whole lot of ink to spill when it came to Daniel Penny and his arrest on that New York City subway. So she felt this case was not in the national spotlight enough. But Sandra, now I understand we're hearing from the president himself with some new reaction to all of this.
She often, during her remarks, pointed to this new statement from President Trump. He posted it to his X account. It's in chunks. It airs in total 2 minutes and 18 seconds. We're going to play it out in its entirety. Listen.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors.
So we said yesterday.
50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot.
Ridiculous.
And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
It's nice to have a president that wants to do that. I never saw Joe do an address like that. Yeah. No, I mean, Joe wouldn't even stand on the podium of the White House press briefing and actually, talk to the press whatsoever. And when he did, don't worry, they asked him the tough questions. What's your favorite scent that children give off, Joe? I mean, sorry, it was ice cream. Forgive me. That's me being a smartass again. So, shout out to Donald Trump for trying to make America safe again while Democrats try to make it more violent again. And, how do I know that? Well, again, when you have the top cities in the country are always Democrat ran that have the most violence in them. I mean, they always point to January 6th, but when you show them the laundry list, right? When you see them, the massive list of all the things they've ever done as a party, and it's always violent, it's always rioting, it's always burning and looting and violence and crime and death and slavery and all this other things. Yeah, they have to turn like to them, January 6th doesn't just surpass everything they've ever done in their history, but it's like more. It surpasses it. It's not even close. It's crazy. I'm not saying January 6th was great, but if you think it's even comparison to Black Lives Matter, you're out of your mind. Out of your mind. Don't worry, we're out here, Shannon. We're out here in the streets of Baltimore. And, well, it's a little hot. It's a little steamy. It's mostly peaceful. You want to know why it's hot, you jerk? Is because there's a building on fire behind you. Yeah, it's a little, right? The back of his hair is being syringed. Let's get through this. It's really hot. As a guy's lighting up a Motel cocktail right behind him and throwing it. Yeah, these people are great. As they're taking his wallet out of his back pocket, just looting the guy. He's like getting moved around by all these people around him. Yeah, things are good. Hey, that's my wallet. It's fine out here. It's mostly peaceful. Yeah, sure it is. It's a pet peeve of mine when people try to gaslight me and treat me like I'm an idiot. I hate it. And Democrats do that a lot. They do it a lot. All righty. We got here, Harris is back in the news. I really hope she's done. You know what I mean? I hope she just kind of hangs up the high heels. Harris admits Biden got tired. Here we go. It's unbelievable. Denies conspiracy to hide mental decline. Yeah, I saved the best for last. Oh, we're going to laugh through this one, aren't we? Let me contain myself. 1 second, please. This is more for me than it is you. Indulge me. Former Vice President, thank God, Kamala Harris admits that former President, thank God, Joe Biden got tired while in office. No shit. They couldn't get the guy to bed. How we share this. They couldn't get him out of bed. Look, before they were saying, this comes from I believe the Associated Press was the one that covered this. They struggled to get the guy out of bed at 10 a.m. And then they had to kind of get him back in bed by 4, but also he was doing naps in between, right? Like they could not get this guy out by 10 a.m. Later on in his presidency, that was early on. Later on, they had to move it to 12 noon. They couldn't get him out of bed by noon. This guy, yes, he was more than 40% of his presidency was spent on vacation, like in Delaware or whatever. They never took into account how much this dude slept on the job. Ever. Like you'll hear reporters, like one's from the OAN, was it like One American News Network or whatever. They would talk about how when they would be in the White House, they would never see a Marine standing outside the Oval Office because Joe was never in there. Whereas it's the whole opposite for Trump. They're like, I go into work and there's a Marine out there. I leave work and there's a Marine out there. He's like, there's always a Marine outside the Oval Office because that means the president's in there. Joe did nothing except destroy this country by doing nothing. Harris made the claims in a newly released excerpt from her upcoming book, 107 Days, which details her experience running for president with frequent throwbacks to her time as the number 2 in the White House. The excerpt, published by The Atlantic, focuses on her relationship with Biden and her frustration with how she was treated in the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah, well, you want to talk about treatment there, Harris? How about you being the border czar and go talk to the young ladies that had horrific, evil things happen to them? And let's talk about mistreatment there. I think that's a good place to start. How about that? Many people want to spin up a narrative of some big conspiracy at the White House to hide Joe Biden's mental decline, basically. Well, here's the truth as I lived it. Oh, it's her truth. Yeah, everything you guys saw, don't worry, that was all fake. Cheap fakes, deep fakes. Yeah, everything you saw was bogus. Give me a break. Joe Biden was a smart guy. I'm not gonna get through this art. I'm not even gonna get through this paragraph. No, it's real. Yeah, hold on. Let me zoom in for you. It's there. I promise. I didn't add that in there. I am reading verbatim. Joe Biden was a smart guy. Trigger him under pressure. Yeah, sure he was. He allowed terrorists in the country. He allowed drugs, fentanyl, gang members. What are you talking about? What? So we're not even close. Long experience and deep conviction. Able to discharge the duties of president. Just know that there are Democrats that are like, yes. Like they're reading this in the book. You know what I mean? They're like, I knew Joe was smart. Oh, he has so much experience and deep convictions. They're just reading this, lapping it up, right? Just, oh, it's so good. On his worst, oh, this is going to be good. Oh my God. On his worst day, I'm so glad we saved this till the end. You're like, Brad, shut up, just get to it. Okay. On his worst day, he was more deeply knowledgeable, more capable of exercising judgment. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I'm crying. I can't even see my screen. and far more compassionate than Donald Trump on his best. No way. I'm going to milk this for all it's worth. I couldn't. The Lord has graced us with one amazing article. I'm not done yet. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that I'm just laughing into the mic for you guys because I know I'm in some of your ears and you're at work. Oh, I'm so glad I get to experience this with you guys. It's like going to a comedy club with your friends. That's how I'm experiencing this, by the way. Just know, indulge me, have fun with me for a moment. Wow. Is it okay with you guys if I read that again? Oh, because she's serious. Or she's just lying. On his worst day, he was more deeply knowledgeable, more capable of exercising judgment, and far more compassionate than Donald Trump on his best. But at 81, Joe got tired. Can you imagine listening to the audiobook of that shit? Oh God. People start hanging themselves. Oh, make it stop. There's a torture. This is what should be played in the prisons. You know what I mean? Give that to Hamas terrorists. They'll talk real quick. Oh yeah. You will never see somebody spill the beans quicker than making them listen to Kamala Harris's book on audio tape. That's when his age showed in physical and verbal stumbles. I don't think it's any surprise that the debate debacle happened right after 2 back-to-back trips to Europe and a flight to the West Coast for a Hollywood fundraiser. I don't believe it was incapacity. If I believe that, I would have to say so. I would have said so. As loyal as I am to President Biden, I am more loyal to my country. God, dude. Holy crap. She'll make millions. She'll make millions off of it. I know. It's as we're all sitting here working 3 jobs like myself, right? She writes some stupid stuff. She just gets to bullshit her way through a book. I actually wrote a book. I didn't make millions off that. My book's way more legit than hers is. She'll make millions. That's the reality that we have to face. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Harris went on to complain that Biden's staff didn't give her support she felt was necessary as vice president on issues from foreign policy to illegal immigration. Kamala, you flew over the border into the southern hemisphere and passed out sugar cookies with your face on it. People always think I'm joking when I say that. I showed you I always have to do this. People never believe me when I say she literally flew over the border and she passed out cookies with her face on it. Let me show you. I always have to show the proof. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? There's the new ones that people are posting. It kind of, oh, come on, don't do this to me. It was like a sugar cookie. Let me see. Kamala Harris sugar cookie. If not, you guys have seen that. I've shown it so many times. Oh, I can't find it anymore. Don't do this. I'll show you guys what I see. There's a specific cookie that she passed out. And let me see if we can even find it anymore. It doesn't have her face. It almost looks like the face. It looks like Nancy Pelosi's face, like melted off. I can't find it. We'll see if we get to it later. It doesn't matter. I want to get back to this. Let's get back to the good stuff. But she passed out a cookie. She passed out cookies at the southern border. And she's like, they're coming here because of global warming. Like Gavin Newsom, right? Everything's happening because of Trump and global warming. Sure. That's a real thing, by the way. Both of those are a real thing. She blamed illegal immigration on global warming. And then Gavin Newsom blamed everything happening in the state of California on Trump and global warming. Those are real things. Here we go. Worse, I often learned... Oh, wait, hold on. I skipped one. She complained that getting the White House press office, including the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, to defend her was almost impossible. Worse, I often learned that the president's staff was adding fuel to negative narratives that spring up around me. One narrative that took a stubborn hold was that I had a chaotic office and unusually high staff turnover during my first year, Harris wrote, going on to say that some people just can't hack it in the White House role. So you did have high turnover. So she's complaining that they were trying to squash the rumors of the narrative that she had high turnover. And then she admits that she had unusually high turnover and that people just couldn't hack it in a White House role, which is probably true, by the way. Some jobs are just difficult. And that's important for the employer to help manage people's stress levels of like, hey, maybe we're giving too much for this person. We need to tone it down. You got to manage that for somebody because sometimes you just drive people into the ground, man. Here we go. Oh God, come on. Give me one more good quote, Kamala. Don't do this to me, girl. You know you got better than this. Their thinking was zero sum. If she's shining, he's dimmed. None of them grasped that if I did well, he did well. That given the concerns about his age, my visible success as his vice president was vital. It would serve as a testament to his judgment in choosing me and reassurance that if something happened, the country was in good hands. My success was important to him. Bro, he didn't even know you're vice president. For like the longest time, he thought that you were the president and he was still running for senator. The former vice president also said Democrats across the board should have been more aggressive in pushing Biden not to run, saying it was reckless to leave the decision in his hands for so long. Why? It's remarkable. She just got done saying that he has good judgment. He has so much long experience, right? He's compassionate on his worst day more than Donald Trump's best. If he was so good, most popular president in American history, if his faculties were so great about him, why would it have been reckless to leave it up to him to decide if he should stay in or not? Doesn't that kind of contradict your whole narrative there, Kamala, of what you were saying just long before this? Do you notice she has a habit of just putting her own foot in her mouth? Oh, they weren't really helping with the narrative that I had high turnover and I didn't really have high turnover, and it was just a kind of a false rumor and something that was being spread, and they could have squashed it, but they didn't really do so. But I mean, hey, I had a bunch of people that just couldn't hack it in the White House. They couldn't last. So everything that he just got done saying was true then. Okay. Oh, Biden was great. The guy's faculties are about him. He's compassionate. He had made good decisions. His brain was totally working. He was just tired. But hey, we shouldn't have listened to the guy about him dropping out. We shouldn't have left it up to him because it's pretty reckless. The guy actually doesn't have good judgment. His faculties weren't about him. Do you notice that there's just the reed in the wind? God, we haven't called someone a bull crap out in a while, and I miss it. Let me tell you, I miss it. I used to do stuff like that all the time here on the show where I'd go over opinion pieces in real time and just pick them apart. That was fun. I missed that. That's old school Bald Brad right there. That is like 2.5 years ago, Bald Brad. We should do that more often. I used to go through Atlantic pieces like the Atlantic or the Guardian and do that to people's opinion pieces on CNN as well. If you guys want to see more of that, we could do more of that. I love that. God, it's so good. All righty. Well, where are we? Is today Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Okay. Well, we'll be back here tomorrow for another episode of the Bald Brad Show in the morning. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Dark Magga. Traditionally, it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Reaches a new audience, allows us to get out there and be a little bit silly, a little bit crazy, and go over more long-form video together, like White House press briefings or a president's Oval Office address, whatever it may be. It gives us an opportunity to kind of cover something a little bit more in detail. Would love for you to join us. Become a member over at YouTube. Become a member over at Rumble. We also have a donation tab on my website. All that help is appreciated. Thank you so much. God bless the moderators. Appreciate you. And with that being said, have a blessed day. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. And pray for peace around the world, folks. We need it. With that being said, I'll see you later.